Walking won't save you from falling. I know that sounds wrong. Every doctor, every health article, every well-meaning friend has probably told you that walking is the best exercise for people over 60. Get your steps in. Take a daily walk. It's good for your heart, your lungs, your mood. And they're not wrong about those things. But here's what nobody tells you. Walking does almost nothing to prevent falls. And falls are what kill people over 60. Not heart attacks, not cancer, falls. Let me give you a number that should terrify you. Every year, 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls. That's 28 million falls in the United States alone. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in an emergency room for a fall. Every 19 minutes, an older adult dies from a fall. Falls are now the leading cause of injury death among people over 65. They've surpassed car accidents. They've surpassed everything else. And the rate is climbing. Between 2007 and 2016, fall death rates increased by 30%. They're still going up. Now here's the part that should change how you think about exercise forever. A study published in the British Medical Journal looked at over 54,000 older adults. They wanted to know which types of exercise actually prevented falls. They analyzed dozens of different exercise programs, walking programs, strength training programs, balance programs, flexibility programs, every combination you can imagine. The results were clear. Walking programs showed no significant reduction in fall rates. 0. People who walked regularly fell just as often as people who didn't exercise at all. But one type of exercise cut fall risk by 23%. One simple category of movement that most people over 60 completely ignore. And you can do it sitting in a chair. I've spent 12 years studying falls in older adults. I've worked with physical therapists, geriatric specialists, and biomechanics researchers. What I'm about to share with you isn't my opinion. It's what the science shows. And it's going to change how you think about staying independent as you age. But before I tell you exactly what this exercise is and how to do it, you need to understand why walking fails. You need to understand what actually happens in your body when you fall. Because once you understand the mechanism, the solution becomes obvious. When you walk, your body uses momentum. You lean forward, you catch yourself with your next step, and you keep moving. It's almost automatic. Your brain doesn't have to think much. Your muscles don't have to react quickly. You're essentially doing controlled falling over and over in a predictable pattern. This is why walking feels easy. This is why doctors recommend it. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't stress your system. It's comfortable. But falling isn't comfortable. Falling is chaos. When you trip on a rug or slip on a wet floor, everything changes in a fraction of a second. Your body tilts. Your center of gravity shifts. Your brain has about 400 milliseconds to figure out what to do. 400 milliseconds. Less than half a second. That's all the time you have between the moment something goes wrong and the moment you hit the ground. In that tiny window, your body needs to do 3 things. First, it needs to detect the problem. Your inner ear, your eyes, and the sensors in your feet and ankles all send signals to your brain saying something is wrong. Second, your brain needs to process those signals and decide how to respond. Should you step to the side, reach for something, bend your knees? Third, your muscles need to execute that decision with enough speed and strength to save you. Here's where walking fails you. Walking doesn't train any of these systems to work fast. Walking is slow and predictable. Your inner ear stays level. Your eyes see what's coming. Your feet hit the ground in a steady rhythm. Nothing challenges your reaction time. Nothing forces your brain to make split-second decisions. Nothing demands that your muscles fire quickly under unexpected conditions. This is why fit people fall. This is why active people fall. This is why people who walk 3 miles a day still end up in emergency rooms with broken hips. Their hearts are healthy, their endurance is good, but their reactive balance is terrible. Reactive balance, that's the term researchers use. It's different from static balance. which is your ability to stand still without swaying. It's different from dynamic balance, which is your ability to stay stable while moving in predictable ways. Reactive balance is your ability to recover when something unexpected happens. And reactive balance is what deteriorates fastest as you age. Starting around age 40, you begin losing what's called your fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the muscle fibers responsible for quick, powerful movements. Jumping, catching yourself, lunging to grab a railing. They're different from your slow-twitch fibers, which handle endurance activities like walking. By age 70, most people have lost 30 to 40% of their fast-twitch muscle fibers. Some people have lost even more. And here's the cruel part. Walking doesn't preserve fast-twitch fibers. Walking only uses slow-twitch fibers. So the more you walk and the less you do anything else, the faster your fast-twitch fibers disappear. This is why elderly people fall even when they're watching where they're going, even when they're being careful. Their slow-twitch fibers work fine. They can walk across a room without any problem. But the moment something unexpected happens, their fast-twitch fibers can't respond quickly enough. Their muscles simply don't fire fast enough to save them. But there's more. Your brain is also changing. The neural pathways that control balance and coordination start to slow down. The signals between your inner ear and your brain take longer to travel. The signals between your brain and your muscles take longer to transmit. This is called increased neural processing time, and it happens to everyone. A 20-year-old can process a balance challenge and respond in about 150 milliseconds. A 70-year-old takes about 250 milliseconds. That extra 100 milliseconds might not sound like much, but it's the difference between catching yourself and hitting the ground. Now here's what makes this worse. These systems need to work together. Your sensory system detects the problem. Your brain processes the information. Your muscles execute the response. If any one of these systems is slow, the whole chain breaks down. And in most people, over 60, all three systems are slower than they used to be. So what can you do about it? This is where the chair exercise comes in. And I promise by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. You'll know how often to do it. You'll know what to feel for to make sure you're doing it right. And you'll understand why it works when walking doesn't. But first, let me tell you about a study that changed everything researchers thought they knew about fall prevention. In 2017, a team of scientists in Australia conducted what's called a systematic review and meta-analysis. This is the highest level of scientific evidence. They gathered data from 99 separate studies involving nearly 34,000 older adults. They wanted to know once and for all which exercises actually prevented falls. They found that exercise programs that challenged balance reduced falls by 23%. Exercise programs that included balance training plus strength training reduced falls by 34%. And exercise programs that focused only on walking had no significant effect. But here's the detail that matters most. The type of balance training that worked wasn't what most people expect. It wasn't standing on one leg. It wasn't walking heel to toe. Those exercises help, but they're not the key. The exercises that prevented falls the most were the ones that challenged what researchers call the limits of stability. These are exercises where you deliberately push your center of gravity to the edge of your base of support and then bring it back. You practice going to the point where you almost lose your balance and then you recover. This trains your brain to recognize danger quickly. It trains your muscles to respond with speed and power. It trains your sensory systems to communicate faster. It builds the exact skills you need in those 400 milliseconds between something going wrong and hitting the ground. And here's the beautiful part. You can do these exercises sitting in a chair. In fact, for many people over 60, starting in a chair is safer and more effective than starting while standing. The chair gives you support. It removes the fear of falling while you're practicing not falling, and it lets you focus entirely on the movements that matter. I'm going to teach you 5 specific exercises. They take About 15 minutes a day. You can do them while watching television. You can do them first thing in the morning. You can do them anywhere you have a sturdy chair. But these aren't random movements I made up. Each one is designed based on the science of fall prevention. Each one targets a specific system that deteriorates with age. And together, they create a comprehensive program that does what walking never could. The first exercise targets your vestibular system. That's the balance center in your inner ear. The second targets your proprioceptors. Those are the sensors in your feet and ankles that tell your brain where your body is in space. The third builds fast-twitch muscle activation in your legs. The fourth improves your hip stability, which is crucial because hip weakness is the #1 predictor of falls. The fifth trains your brain to integrate all these systems together under unexpected conditions. Later in this video, I'll walk you through each exercise step by step. I'll show you exactly how to progress as you get stronger. I'll tell you what common mistakes to avoid. And I'll explain how to know when you're ready to advance to standing versions of these same movements. But right now, I want you to understand something important. Falls are not a normal part of aging. They're not inevitable. They happen because of specific deficits in specific systems, and those deficits can be corrected. The human body is remarkable. It adapts to whatever demands you place on it. If you walk every day, your body gets better at walking. If you challenge your balance every day, your body gets better at recovering from balance challenges. The adaptations are specific to the training. This is called the principle of specificity, and it's one of the most important concepts in exercise science. Your body improves at exactly what you practice. Nothing more, nothing less. Walking is great for your cardiovascular system, because walking challenges your cardiovascular system. Walking is great for your slow-twitch muscle endurance, because walking uses slow-twitch muscles for extended periods. But walking is terrible for fall prevention, because walking never challenges the systems that prevent falls. Those systems need different training. They need training that involves unexpected changes in your center of gravity, training that demands rapid muscle activation, training that forces your brain to process balance information quickly and make split-second decisions. A chair is the perfect tool for this training, not because chair exercises are easier, not because they're more comfortable, but because a chair lets you isolate the exact movements and responses that prevent falls. It lets you practice them safely, and it lets you progress at your own pace without risking the very thing you're trying to prevent. In a moment, I'm going to explain how each system in your body contributes to balance. I'm going to get specific about muscle groups, neural pathways, and sensory inputs. Because when you understand the mechanism, you can target it directly. You can train smarter, not just harder. And that knowledge is what separates people who stay independent into their 80s and 90s from people who lose their independence to a single fall. Let me take you inside your body for a moment. Let me show you exactly what happens when you start to fall and what needs to happen to save you. You're walking across your living room. Your foot catches the edge of a rug. In that instant, your body tilts forward. Your head drops. Your center of gravity shifts outside your base of support. The first system to respond is your vestibular system. Deep inside your inner ear, there are 3 semicircular canals filled with fluid. When your head tilts, that fluid moves. Tiny hair cells inside the canals detect that movement and send electrical signals to your brain. This happens within 50 milliseconds. Your brain now knows something is wrong. At the same time, your eyes are sending information. They see the floor getting closer. They see the walls tilting in your peripheral vision. This visual information confirms what your vestibular system is reporting. Your brain is now certain you're falling. But there's a third source of information. In your feet, ankles, knees, and hips, you have millions of tiny sensors called proprioceptors. These sensors detect pressure, stretch, and position. When your foot catches the rug and your ankle starts to roll, these proprioceptors fire immediately. They tell your brain exactly where your limbs are in space and how fast they're moving. All three systems send their signals to a part of your brain called the cerebellum. The cerebellum is your movement coordination center. It receives all this sensory information, compares it to what it expected, and calculates what your muscles need to do to save you. This calculation takes about 100 to 150 milliseconds in a young, healthy brain. In an older brain, it takes longer, sometimes much longer. This is one reason falls become more common with age. The processing time increases. Once your cerebellum has calculated a response, it sends signals down your spinal cord to your muscles. The muscles that matter most in this moment are not the ones you might expect. Most people think leg strength prevents falls. They think if they can climb stairs or walk long distances, their legs are strong enough. But the muscles that prevent falls are not the big prime movers like your quadriceps and hamstrings. The muscles that prevent falls are your stabilizers, your hip abductors, your deep core muscles, your ankle stabilizers. These are smaller muscles that most people never train directly. They don't make your legs look bigger. They don't help you walk faster. But they're the muscles that fire when your center of gravity shifts unexpectedly. They're the muscles that pull you back to center before you hit the ground. Walking doesn't train these muscles. When you walk, your body stays in a narrow corridor of stability. Your center of gravity never shifts significantly to the left or right. Your hip stabilizers barely activate. Your ankle stabilizers do minimal work. The movement is too predictable, too controlled, too easy for your stabilizer system. This is why people can walk 5 miles a day and still fall in their own bathroom. Their walking muscles are strong. Their stabilizer muscles are weak. Now let me tell you about the chair exercises and why they work. The first exercise is seated weight shifts. You sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Your back is straight but not touching the back of the chair. You're sitting on the front half of the seat. From this position, you slowly shift your weight to the right. You let your whole torso lean to the right. Your left hip lifts slightly off the chair. You go as far as you can without grabbing the chair or falling over. Then you pause. Then you slowly return to center. Then you shift to the left. This simple movement pushes your center of gravity outside your normal base of support. It forces your hip abductors on the supporting side to activate hard. It trains the exact pattern your body needs when you start to fall sideways. You do this 10 times to each side, slowly at first, then a little faster as you improve. The second exercise targets your ankles. You sit in the same position. You lift your heels off the ground so you're on the balls of your feet. Then you slowly lower them. Then you lift your toes off the ground so you're on your heels. Then you lower them. After 10 slow repetitions, you do 10 fast repetitions. You pump your feet up and down as quickly as you can while maintaining control. This rapid movement trains the fast-twitch fibers in your ankle stabilizers. It teaches them to fire quickly when needed. Then you close your eyes and do 10 more. With your eyes closed, your brain can't rely on visual information for balance. It has to depend entirely on your vestibular system and your proprioceptors. This is critical training because many falls happen in low-light conditions. The third exercise is the seated march. You lift your right knee up toward your chest. You hold it for 2 seconds. Then you lower it and lift your left knee, back and forth, marching while seated. Every time you lift one leg, all your weight shifts to the other hip. Your hip stabilizers on the supporting side have to work hard to keep you from tipping. You march slowly for 10 repetitions. Then you march as fast as you can for 10 repetitions. The fast marching trains rapid weight transfer, which is exactly what happens when you stumble. Then you add head turns. You look left, look right, look left, look right, all while your legs keep marching. This challenges your vestibular system to process head movement and body movement at the same time. The fourth exercise targets your hip rotators. You sit with your knees bent at 90 degrees and your feet flat on the floor. Without moving your knees, you rotate your feet outward so your toes point away from each other. Then you rotate them inward so your toes point toward each other. Out, in, out, in. These muscles are crucial for recovery steps. When you start to fall, you often need to step out at an angle to catch yourself. That requires strong, quick hip rotators. The fifth exercise is the most important. It's called the seated reach. You extend your right arm straight out in front of you. Then you reach forward and to the right as far as you can without your left hip lifting off the chair. You're trying to touch something just beyond your natural reach. You hold that position for 2 seconds. Then you return to center. Then you reach forward and to the left. Then backward over your right shoulder. Then backward over your left shoulder. Each reach pushes your center of gravity in a different direction. Each one activates a different combination of stabilizer muscles. This exercise replicates what happens in real-life fall situations. When you reach for something on a high shelf, when you bend down to pick something up, when you turn to look behind you, these are the moments when falls happen. Not during walking, during reaching, during turning, during transitional movements. Now let me tell you how to put these together into a daily routine. Start with 20 weight shifts, 10 to each side, then 30 ankle pumps, 10 slow, 10 fast, 10 with eyes closed. Then 30 seated marches, 10 slow, 10 fast, 10 with head turns, then 30 hip rotations, 10 slow, 10 fast, 10 with eyes closed, then 24 reaches, 6 in each direction. The entire routine takes 12 to 15 minutes. You can do it while watching television. You can do it first thing in the morning. All you need is a sturdy chair. The key is consistency. These exercises work through neural adaptation. Your brain learns to process balance information faster. Your muscles learn to fire more quickly and precisely. But this learning only happens with regular practice. Daily practice is ideal. Every other day is the minimum. Research shows that balance improvements begin within 2 weeks of starting a consistent program. Significant fall risk reduction occurs after 8 to 12 weeks, but the benefits only last as long as you keep training. Balance is a skill. Like any skill, it requires ongoing practice. Now let me give you the other pieces of the puzzle. Exercise alone isn't enough if you ignore the other factors that cause falls. Medications are one of the biggest fall risk factors nobody talks about. Blood pressure medications can cause dizziness when you stand up. Sleep medications can leave you groggy at night when you get up to use the bathroom. Antihistamines can affect your balance for hours after you take them. Pain medications can slow your reaction time. If you take more than 4 medications, your fall risk doubles. Talk to your doctor about whether any of your medications increase fall risk and whether safer alternatives exist. Vision matters more than most people realize. Your eyes provide critical balance information. If your vision is even slightly impaired, your balance suffers. Get your eyes checked every year. Update your prescription when needed, and be careful with bifocals and progressive lenses. The blurred zones at the edges can make stairs and curbs dangerous. Some people need separate glasses just for walking. Footwear is simple but crucial. Wear shoes with low heels and non-slip soles. Avoid walking in socks or stockings. On hard floors, avoid floppy slippers that don't stay secure on your feet. Your feet need to feel the ground and grip it. Every step you take in bad footwear is a fall waiting to happen. Your home environment is where most falls occur. Remove throw rugs or tape them down securely with double-sided carpet tape. Keep electrical cords out of walkways. Install grab bars in the bathroom near the toilet and inside the shower. Make sure every room has adequate lighting. Put nightlights in hallways and bathrooms. Keep a flashlight by your bed. For power outages, stairs deserve special attention. Always use the handrail, always, even if you feel steady. Even if you've walked those stairs 1,000 times. Make sure stairs are well lit from top to bottom. Consider putting contrasting tape on the edge of each step so you can see where one step ends and the next begins. Never carry things with both hands on stairs. Keep one hand free for the railing at all times. Getting up too fast is a common fall trigger that catches people by surprise. When you've been sitting or lying down, your blood pressure needs a moment to adjust when you stand. If you stand too quickly, Blood can pool in your legs and your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. You get dizzy. You get lightheaded. This is called orthostatic hypotension, and it becomes more common with age. When you get up, pause. Sit on the edge of the bed or chair for a few seconds, then stand slowly, then wait a moment before you start walking. Dehydration affects balance more than people realize. When you're dehydrated, your blood volume drops. Your blood pressure becomes less stable. Your brain doesn't function as sharply. Your reaction time slows. Drink water throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Thirst is a late signal that you're already dehydrated. Now let me tell you the most important thing I can tell you. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Not when you finish watching all your other videos. Today, the exercises I've taught you require nothing but a chair. You already have a chair. You can do the first round of exercises as soon as this video ends. 15 minutes. That's all it takes to begin building the balance that could save your independence. Every day you wait is a day. Your stabilizer muscles get weaker. Every day you wait is a day your neural pathways slow down a little more. Every day you wait is a day closer to the fall that changes everything. I've seen what falls do to people. I've seen active, independent people become afraid to leave their homes after one bad fall. I've seen one broken hip lead to months of rehabilitation that never fully restores what was lost. I've seen people move to assisted living not because of disease or illness, but because of a single fall on a Tuesday afternoon. But I've also seen the opposite. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s build reactive balance they haven't had in decades. I've seen people who fell multiple times go years without another incident. I've seen confidence return, independence preserved, lives extended by years because the fall that would have ended everything never happened. The difference isn't luck. The difference isn't genetics. The difference is training. Your body will adapt to whatever you ask of it. Ask it to walk, and it will get better at walking. Ask it to recover from balance challenges, and it will get better at recovering from balance challenges. The adaptations are specific to the demand. Walking is not. The demand that prevents falls. The seated exercises I've taught you are 15 minutes a day, a sturdy chair. Consistency over time. That's the formula. That's what the research shows. That's what actually works when theory meets reality. You now know more about fall prevention than most doctors will ever tell you. You understand why walking fails. To protect you. You understand what systems deteriorate with age and why. You understand how to train those systems, specifically and safely using nothing but a chair. The only question left is whether you'll do it. A fall takes less than a second. The consequences can last the rest of your life, but prevention takes just 15 minutes a day. Choose the 15 minutes. Start today. Your future self will thank you for it.